Hey guys, today I'm excited to give you my spoiler-free review for Babylon, which hits theaters on December 23rd. Now, I've got to start off by saying this movie will not be for everyone, okay? This is an R-rated movie. This is a hard R-rated movie. Listen, the first 20, 30 minutes or so before you get to the Babylon on the screen title sequence thing, it is like, okay, it's a 1920s Hollywood party, and there is nudity, there are acts being performed, there are drugs, you're like, what is happening? They are pushing the envelope. I mean, you look at stuff in the background that's going on, it's like, oh my god. Okay, guys, if you watched Herogasm on The Boys, this is a similar-esque type thing going on. It's maybe even crazier, it's insane. It is crazier, okay? It's insane. There's so much happening, and you're just like, oh, okay, all right, this is where we're going. But it's good. This movie is entertaining. It's entertaining. That's the way to put it. And it sucks you in immediately with that, because you're like, what is going on? Then, of course, you have Margot Robbie, who is just a freaking delight. That girl is so good at everything she does, and her on screen, she's so phenomenal in this, and you're immediately like, I love her. I love this character of hers. You know, she wants to be an actress, and she's like, I'm a star, and he's like, what have you been in? She's like, no, I haven't been in anything yet, but I'm a star, and I love that attitude, and you get that from her throughout the entire film. Diego is her counterpart, the other lead, the male lead in this, and he is phenomenal. Diego Calva, he is so good. I adored his character in this. He kind of brings the heart of the movie. She's the crazy wild one, and he's the heart of this film. Of course, you also have Brad Pitt, who's also phenomenal. I mean, he's Brad Pitt. He's always good. He's never had a bad performance. Perhaps a bad movie, but it's never been a bad performance. He's so good in this as well. So Babylon is basically this 1920s love letter to 1920s Hollywood, right? There's so much going on. There's the silent pictures, and then they're turning into the talkies, and it's these actors trying to evolve from the change of cinema, right? To go from just doing stuff, and then they write your words on a page and stick it up on the camera, you know what I mean? To they have to talk, they have to act more now, they have to be able to do things, they have to be able to perform more, right? They can't just be a pretty face bouncing around doing random things, and then they add words to it later. So that's an interesting take, and then it's kind of what they're all going through because of that, their careers, their lives. It's very interesting, but it's very insane. The stuff that goes on, again, there's drugs and sex and nudity sprinkled throughout the entire thing, right? But there's so much. It's the story starts to get really, really interesting, because it starts off, like I said, absolutely crazy. You're at this party and you're like, what is going on? This is bonkers. And it is a long movie. Okay, it's 2.5 hours, maybe even longer, and it's long. But it's interesting, and you start to get really sucked into the story, and I was so invested in Diego's life and Margot Robbie's life, and I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? Because he kind of gets a crush on her, and where is this gonna go? It's a will they or won't they, you know? And you're intrigued and interested, and there's so many other characters that are just characters. Let's put it that way, right? You know, they all come together for these parties. It's just this. It's the Hollywood scene, and it's interesting, and it's fun, and it's entertaining, and it's wild. It is absolutely wild. This is a ride. It's one of those movies that ends and you're like, what? I will say the end is so powerful. The last scene, I was teared up. I was like, oh, here we go. It was that's when it became a love letter to cinema. You know what I mean? And again, that was Diego. Diego's performance in the end is just perfection. It's so good. But the movie overall, it's again, not for everybody. Absolutely not for everybody. But I love the overall message and the overall story, and it doesn't get old ever. There's some weird editing choices, especially the beginning, where you're like, whoa, okay, all right. They'll cut a scene real quick and jump to another one, and you're like, okay. But it finds itself, and the pacing finds itself. There are a few slow moments, but nothing that you're ever like, okay, what time is it? Okay, what time is it? Are we almost done with this movie? And it's a long movie, but it holds its own throughout. Listen, I enjoyed it. It is definitely not for everybody. This is going to be divisive. There are going to be people going, what the heck did I just watch? I didn't like it. And there are people that are going to be like, what? That was amazing. Especially the ending. Like, it was so beautiful. It's beautiful and powerful. And if you love cinema, I think you will enjoy it. The Fabelmans is another love letter to cinema, maybe done a little bit better, maybe done in a little more traditional way, where this one's a little bit crazier. But you've got a phenomenal cast, and I mean, Margot Robbie is just absolute perfection in this. Between her and Diego, the two of them absolutely shine in this film. And like I said, Brad Pitt is great. He's good. He's phenomenal. But like, how is he overshadowed by Diego and Margot? I don't know, but he is in this. It's just so good. I tell you what, it ended and I was like, okay, I can't wait to watch that again. Like, I need a break. Like, I need a solid, like, couple of weeks. But, like, I will watch it again because I just really, really enjoyed it. So, listen, it's not perfect. It's got some problems. It's definitely going to be divisive. Like I said, some people are going to be like, this was crazy. I give Babylon a 4 out of 5 because I had an absolute blast with it. If by the time you got to this review, you've already seen Babylon, let me know what you thought down below in the comments. Which side are you on? I really think this is going to be like a love it or hate it. I don't think people are going to be like, it was okay. I think it's going to be like, that was awful. I don't know why I just watched that and I hated it. Or, wow, that was so good and powerful. I really, really freaking enjoyed this movie. That's how I feel it's going to go. And I think the ending will bring a lot of people around, but we'll see. The whole ensemble is absolutely phenomenal. It's like this, again, a powerful message. It's devastating sometimes, to be honest with you. There's some moments that you're like, oof, that hit me in the gut, right? It's funny. It's entertaining. It's bonkers. It's so bonkers, but it's fun, and that is what I wanted to see in this movie. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this. You guys can follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm MamasGeeky over there. You can also check me out at MamasGeeky.com and check out Babylon when it hits theaters this Christmas. Thank you so much to all my monetary supporters, my members, and my Patreons. Love you guys.